Hello. This is going to be a long guide to an optional around Reborn dungeon, the Sunken Temple of Qarn. I've always pronounced it Qarn for some reason. There are some changes in this version of the dungeon from the previous time I made a guide, and so I wanted to give a little bit of an update and also show the fight with the NPCs. Since this is one of the earlier dungeons, I'm going to briefly go through my UI since I know that can be tricky for some people when you're trying to like follow along and it's just like, wait, where's this stuff? So to start off, the party list is on this side, limit break is up here, party chat, which you can't see, there's my HUD. I'm currently putting on the tank stance, which is here. There's one there. So it shows that I have my tank stance on. This is some FC stuff, so that doesn't really apply right now. Well, it does, but that's unrelated to the guide. This is information about the dungeon, and you can see how many things we need to do to finish the dungeon. This is the mini map. Yeah, so should be all good there. So to start off, usually people will go here, grab the ads, and then go down the stairways over there. There is like this little thing that you can look at over here, but a lot of people do kind of skip that. And so if you're running it for the first time and you do want to explore, then just know there is stuff there. But at the beginning, I am just going to grab all this stuff. You can see out here. The warden. I think I run back and I look at it, so we can talk about it later. But yeah, so I'll grab all these and then I'll go down the steps over here on the right side. And I throw back my shield blob just to maintain aggro on these things. So I have all of them, bring them together. Where's this Thaumaturge? You can't see him, but the Thaumaturge is like in the back. He's like behind this wall. There he is, right there. He or she. I don't know if I've ever really looked at who they are. There they are. So in this dungeon, we can collect some of these little stone tablet things around the dungeon. This one is the Helm of Might. Some people, like if you run this with, okay, and then when you grab it, it disappears. Some people, if you're running it with like other players, if they've run this a bunch, they might not really care about gathering the actual items of the dungeon. Because if you don't have the items, then you could just like skip it, like destroy a bunch of ads instead of doing the mechanic correctly. Yeah, quote unquote correctly. Some people are gonna say it's fine. Some people are gonna say, no, we gotta like bring the thing to the thing. So here what this is showing is like, okay, the engravings too warned you to cipher, but I'm gonna spoil it for you. Like here it has this squiggly kind of circle kind of thingy. And this one is like a strawberry. Okay, that's what that looks like. And so in the end, when you have to put tablets on this thingy, it's basically asking for this configuration. But the reason why a lot of people skip all this stuff is because they've run it so often. They're just like, oh, I already know what it is. And so that's why they don't look at that anymore. Anyway, continuing on. So this is a little different here. It's not different, but it's something to keep track of. There's this face thing that wanders around. You'll kind of see it wandering here and there. One thing that is significant is this temple bee. There's also a temple bee over here. These guys can do this thing called Final Sting, and if they get you, you don't kill them fast enough, or, you know, you don't have adequate kind of mitigation or heals, like, it will kill you. I'm not sure if it one-shots you or not, but let's see. We can take a look. My enemy list is over here. As you can see, my health is going down. I have some mitigation, but I was also like, oh shoot, I gotta get closer to the healer. Okay, I did die there because my health was too low. So I grabbed way too much compared to how much I was mitigating and how close my healer was to me. So that's fine. I was really just testing, like, what do you call it? Testing, like stress testing, like how much the NPC healer could do. The thing is, if you do end up dying, you reset when you're with the NPCs, and even with like other people. Usually if you have to start from the beginning again, the some of the ads that you were trying to take care of decrease, and so we don't have as much, like that little face thing that was here before, it's not here anymore, and so it like tries to help you out in a way. So it's no problem to like not be able to do it. You just do it again and it'll be a little bit easier. But here, let's see if they do the final sting. Okay, the issue with running with NPCs is sometimes they will attack one of the ads. So for example, here, this is green. That means I do not have its attention because it's not red. And none of my party members are here with me, and so they're all like huddled back here. So that's something that you'll have to pay attention to if you're gonna run stuff with the NPCs. Like, they're not always gonna follow you, and then you might die because you're not near the healer. And so, you know, I just brought them all, the ads, back closer to everybody else. Okay, right now the bees are doing the final sting, so let's see if I die. Okay, I did. So, how much damage should I take? $14,000 each. Okay, so it happened twice. And I think when it went off, that's the amount of health that I had in that moment. Okay, so let's see. Like right there, this one just went off. So I had around 1,400. And when this one goes off, yeah. So I had roughly the amount of damage that they ended up attacking me with. And so definitely if I get hit with two of them, I'm gonna die. But that's what the final sting does. And so that's why you want to specifically make sure that you target those bees so that they don't one-shot you. It's also a blue mage spell if you're interested in doing blue mage stuff. It's a whole system of its own, I have to say. But, yeah. I forgot to eat food, so just I'm drinking some hot chocolate. When you eat some food, you gain a little bit of extra health, and you also get experience if you're leveling your stuff. Okay, see, this one went back here, so I gotta go make sure to pick it up. Also, before I forget, in this run, I forgot to pick up another stone tablet because I'm so used to like ignoring them. But there's a stone tablet on this side of the wall, which I think I end up running back to look at the very end. But yeah, in this general area, there's another one if you want to pick it up. All right, first boss. So for this area, you'll notice there's this, and there's also another like square panel over there. These little things that you can step on will glow at some point, and we'll have to do stuff with them. Okay, so this first one, Tri-Clip, this is going to be the Tank Buster. It's got the little red caution thing. And so I'm using my mitigation to decrease the amount of damage I take from it. Okay, so here's the other square panel. Okay, let's dodge out of this. Alright, Dung Wesps have joined the fray, so there's some ads, so you want to pick those up. As tank, you pick them up. Okay. Sometimes they will just go towards the other party members, but like they took care of it pretty quickly, so it's not a big deal. Okay, this Mortal Ray, it will give this debuff called Doom to everybody. We'll see it as Doom, this thing. Okay. We all have Doom. And after a certain amount of time, if Doom like finishes its countdown, so it goes all the way down to 0, then I'll just immediately die. And so for this one, this is what the square panels are for. Oh, I sense the pall of death. We need to go step into one of the glowing panels to cleanse ourselves. Here, see? As soon as they stepped into it, they lost their Doom. I'm not in it yet. Technically, I still have my Doom. And then the Thaumaturge is also not in it yet. They still have their Doom. Certain death when counter reaches 0. Certain death. Okay, this is weird. Like, I read this as there is a certain type of death that will occur when it reaches 0, when really certain here is used as you are certainly going to experience this. It's kind of an interesting way of writing that. But anyway, so I stand on it and then it cleanses the Doom for me. Okay, and then this is an AoE that I want to dodge out of. And you can kind of see down here the square switches which one's glowing. So this one's glowing now, like this one's not glowing anymore. And so if you miss this one, then you have to like run over here. And if this one's not glowing, then you have to like run over here. So you kind of need to pay attention to which tile is glowing and whether it's still glowing when you stand on it or not. Okay, so once again, Mortal Ray is the name of the cast. This back panel is the one that's glowing. So I have Doom again. So I'm gonna go run to the thing. Okay, once I got there, look, it's not glowing anymore. Where's the glowing one? This one's not glowing. And so I gotta go to the one down here. Yeah, now I have like 5 seconds. So I'm like, oh no, I gotta do the thing. But then now the ads are coming up. But you know, priorities here. I gotta make sure that I'm not standing. I get rid of the Doom thing. How did they run faster than me? Okay, so they're okay. Oh, I just couldn't really see it because the boss was in my way. That's why they were able to run faster than me. Okay, watch out for this cone. And we got the ad. Yeah. Okay, and then the Tank Buster. See, like, even though I was running that way, like, I don't need to always be standing on that side. Like, I saw that my other party members were already over there. So I was like, okay, instead of standing here making them move over, I, as tank, will just move on this side to make sure that the back, the boss is facing away from everyone else, like, just in case. And also if people have positionals. I'm not sure they have positionals at this level, but it's just like a nice thing to practice. So then in the future, you don't really have to think about it. Okay, we got the Mortal Ray again, so we have the Doom thing. So find the glowy panel, step on it, and then you're good. Cool. Alright, grab your treasure. In the old dungeon, there used to be 2 little bees here. And so something that has changed is they moved the bees over here. I think part of the problem is like sometimes people would try to avoid the bees, and so then the tank would go this way. But then by the time the other party members got to this area, the bees would fly down and then it would start attacking people. And so they probably just tried to streamline things a little bit more and move them all over here. Additionally, something that has changed is this face. This ad over here with the face. It used to like wander around all over the place, and you would have to bring it to this particular square and kill it on the square. But now it looks like it's just stationary there. It doesn't actually move away from the square. So I think that makes it a lot easier. Okay, and watch out for these cones and stuff. Because sometimes you would deal with all the ads and then you would kill the face. But then it's like, it's a little bit off to the side. And then you'd have to wait for it to like come back to life and then bring it back over there and all that stuff. So it was a little annoying. Okay, so I grabbed these 2, but like I said, like they're not moving at all. They're just sitting on that spot. And so that is I would say it's a significant change, because it was a significant part of running this dungeon, having to finagle with putting the heads on the squares. But anyway, the situation is when the heads die on the square, a door opens. Like, so the one that was back here, once that died, the door opened, and then once we took care of this one, this door opened, and once we took care of the one back there, that door opens. And so now you just go into one of the rooms and deal with the ads. And then there's like a stone tablet over there that we'll take care of. The Flame of Magic, we'll pick that up. So when you're trying to interact and like pick up items in the dungeon, if you try to do it but you're getting attacked, then it's just going to keep canceling out. And so that's why usually the DPS will go take care of this stuff and not the tank, because the tank is always getting attacked. But since I'm running this by myself and I am a tank, it's a little bit harder to multitask like that because I'm getting attacked. But if you run it with other people, it's like kind of expected that DPS would go pick up all this stuff. Okay, so I grabbed the tablet and we're heading out. So we're going out here. You can kind of see like there's a stone pedestal here. This area over here, like all this stuff over here is where we're gonna end up later. There's just like this wall thing in the way. So it's kind of cool to be able to see different parts of the dungeon, like at the beginning and the end. So I picked up these ads, and then I'm gonna take a turn this way, picking up any other ads along the way. Again, you can go as slow or as fast as you want, especially with running this with the NPCs. Like, they're not gonna say anything about it. I just keep all these together, making sure my healer is kind of nearby. There's also this ghost over there that I'm keeping an eye on in case it comes back over. Look at this little face. Do you see that? It like left. Okay, I do see that the ghost is coming over, so I just grab it before it starts attacking someone else. Okay, and then we go into the next room, which will have the next boss. So this boss has 2 different things going on. There's this golem soul stone, which is like lower, and then there's the temple garden. So the temple garden is this entire rock thing, you know, it's that whole thing. The stone itself is just like this little thing in the middle. As tank, you want to make sure you're picking up both of those. You're attacking both of them, because sometimes if you only pick up the stone, the guardian itself can attack other people. Okay, so make sure you're using like either your AoE thingy or your single target hitting both, like each of them at least once, that kind of thing. This blue circle is one of them, the Thermiturge, doing the limit break. So this is fine to stand in. Anyway, while this is happening, we have a few things to pay attention to. We've got this cone to get out of the way. Well, you want to get out of the way of the cone. The boss is, the guardian is doing this border clap, which is what this thing is. Because I already have aggro on both of them, you want to target the soul stone. Like, you gotta get rid of that. Remember, dodge. Okay, so once you break the soul stone, it becomes incapacitated. And then vulnerability down, that means that before, the Temple Guardian had this thing called vulnerability down. Okay, so when you're vulnerable, that means it's easier to hurt you, right? But if your vulnerability is down, that means you're not as vulnerable, and therefore it's harder to take you down. And so when the boss has something called vulnerability down, that means it's actually stronger. It has more protection. But because there's a minus sign here, we remove the buff, okay? So now it doesn't have vulnerability down, and two negatives cancel each other out to be a positive, and therefore it is now vulnerable. Does that make sense? So we take its soul stone out. This sounds awful. We take its soul stone out so it becomes vulnerable, and then we can attack it more. The golem soul stone is shattered. We are awful. It's exposed. Its heart and soul is right there. We're attacking it better. That's what we're doing. This ought to do the trick. Who said that? The lantern? Okay, now it stood up and it punched me, and here it's got the vulnerability down again. It's the plus sign, okay, this. So now, because the vulnerability is down, that means it is not as vulnerable. So it has it right here, and it's standing up, and it's not taking as many hits, which means it's doing whatever it wants, and I need to attack the soul stone again. And so everybody else, make sure you get out of the way of the AoEs, get out of the way of the guardians, like other attacks. It targets a random person, and does this line AoE, so you gotta dodge all this stuff. And this is like, see, like I still is red, but I can't, it's, you know, it's stronger now. It's doing its own thing. I can't control, I can't bring it over here. Eventually it will pay attention to me again, but it's gonna do stuff. You know, toss the Thermiturge all the way over there. So, yeah. Ooh, obliterate. That's a raid wide. But now it's paying attention to me. So I'm gonna bring it over here a little bit to get it out of the way of the Lancer. Okay, at this point we've destroyed the Soul Stone again. Its vulnerability down buff is gone, so now it is vulnerable. And so then we can attack the Guardian itself again. All right. pick up your treasure, and then we head on up to the next area. Okay, this is gonna be a big pool, so again, you don't have to do big pools like this, but if you wanna practice doing big pools and figuring out mitigation stuff, then you can do this, right? So again, I am making sure that all these little red dots are following me and throwing my shield lob back to make sure they follow. Like every time you turn a corner, it changes the line of sight of stuff, and then you can lose aggro because of this and that. It's the whole thing. And so you gotta pay attention to this stuff. Okay, so I'm bringing it all here. I'm gonna grab these guys and keep going. This is what I mean when I say wall to wall. You just keep going, you grab everything along the way until you can't go anymore. And I grab all this stuff too. Now, in the old version, this face again would be like going all over the place, but it is now stationary to the square. Remember when I paused earlier and be like, hey, we're gonna go there later? That's what I was like standing around here on the other side of this wall. Here's the little head, and then we went to the room there to get the stone. There's the other one, and then there's like another one over there. Yeah, that's where we're at. Anyway, so I run further out just to get them all kind of clumped up, and I turn around and I can see all my healers right there. Dodging all of this stuff, you know, kind of hang out, use my mitigation, kind of kite around a little bit so I don't get hit with auto attacks, giving my healer a bit more time to give me heals. Okay, and then I kind of separate the different mitigations that I have. And there we go. That is the wall-to-wall pool in this area. Ooh, one of them left a treasure. Okay, so this one, I put the Helm of Might in there. You can kind of see this. Okay, it shows the helm. Can you see? It shows the helm, and so that's what it's asking for. It's a little hard to see from this angle, and like the name of the thing was in the way. But oh, here we go, here we go. There, see, it looks like a helmet. Okay. Okay, and it's hard to see here, but it says Helm of Might, and if you really kind of squint your eyes, it looks like a helmet. Okay, and this one looks like a little squiggly thing. And this one looks like the little strawberry. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, you can't see it. But, oh wait, hang on. Oh man, wait. Technical difficulties. Here. Which one is... Here. Okay. The middle one. A small statuette upon which is carved an ethereal flame. Okay, a little squiggle. Okay. And the next one. Fruit of knowledge. A bunch of grapes? That's grapes? That's not a strawberry? Dude, it looks like this. That's not a strawberry? Alright, whatever. Okay, and then the Helm of Might is a steel helmet. Okay, well, great. Okay, but once we open this door, there's a treasure in here. If you're really hurting for crystals, you can get some fire shards, okay? Like, so that's kind of why, like, not a lot of people pay attention to the stone things to pick up the treasure, because it's like shards, like crystals and stuff, which some people care about, some people don't. Okay, so this one has the little diamond thingy, which I don't have. It's in that room that I mentioned. I forgot about it because I usually don't. But this is what happens when you don't have the stone. When you try to click on it or open the thing, you get ads. And so sometimes people would rather just destroy more ads than do the mechanics of the dungeon. Now, back in the day, you used to get experience from all the ads. Like, watch out for all these AoEs. You get experience from all the ads, but now, after the updates to the dungeons and stuff like that, you don't get experience anymore from ads and dungeons. All the experience you get are from the bosses. So, yeah. I was just double checking why I didn't have it. I was confused. But similarly, this treasure coffer gives us some shards, I think. I think they're different though. Okay, these are lightning shards, whereas before it was fire shards. Okay, at this point, you can go left or right up the steps. It will lead to the same place. And up here we've got a room here and a room over there for treasure too. But we're gonna have to take care of these ads. And this face stays stationary, so you just bring the other ad to this face and it will stay on this platform. Okay, and you see that when the thing died, it kind of like, it lays down on this square and then the door is open. But for the sake of the guide, I'm gonna go explore these rooms. So for this one, it's asking for the flame thing, the squiggle. The little squiggle. Spoilers, I think it's more shards. Wind shards this time. Yeah, this one's a strawberry, or grapes. The fruit of knowledge is not singular, so how can you say it's grapes? Oh, we got boots. Grapes? Do you want some grapes? Do you want a grape? A fruit of knowledge? Anyway, okay, so there's a bunch of ads here, so I'm gonna pick them all up and just take care of the situation. If you didn't pick up the 2 stones that you need for this scale thing, okay, also here, see this one is green, so it's not like paying attention to me, so I go back for it, so it doesn't attack other people. If you didn't pick up the stones, then you can click on the scales of judgment and then more ads will pop up and then you can just take care of it all at the same time. Sometimes people do that. People who want to rush and stuff and are confident that they can handle all of the ads and stuff. That's fine. But you can also just take it easy, okay? It's all good. Okay, so this thing, it looks like the thing that we saw at the very beginning, the warden thing here. This, okay, this is from the very beginning of the dungeon. And so it's telling you, you want the squiggly fire thing and the strawberry grapes thing over here. Okay, so. Okay, there's fine. So I'm going to click on the pan and put the, oh no, you don't want to tip the scales just yet, unless you don't care and you just want ads, but, so I'm going to put the flame of magic on this side, the squiggle, and the fruit of knowledge over here. And then I'm going to click the Scales of Judgment. I have the other one, but I'm not going to use it. Okay, so that opens the door, and I also get the treasure room. Now, if you just get the ads, like, and you don't do the scale thingy, then that's fine. Like, the final boss room is still going to open, but you won't get the treasure room. Let's see what treasure we get. If it's more shards, I don't know, man. Wind shards. Okay, I got some pants. Oh, I can't get that. I already have one. Okay, so if you're really wanting gear or shards, then you know that's where they're at. Okay, final boss. Starts off with a tank buster, so make sure you mitigate. Summon, so that means some stuff is gonna pop up. Okay, so we got this mithril thing. There's 2 of them. They don't move necessarily, so I'm not like going after them, but you can destroy them, or they'll do the blue line AoE thing, so we'll see it again. Okay, Creeping Darkness. Is this an AoE? Yeah, so that's a raid wide, so everybody got hit with that. Okay, do we need to do some vocabulary? When I say raid wide, I mean this is my party, but this is also my raid, okay? My raid party. And so when I say raid wide, I mean the entire raid party is going to get hit with this big attack, a raid wide. It spans the width of the entire raid, or the entire party. Okay, so that's what that means when people say that. All right. We got the summon thing again, so we're gonna get more stuff. Okay, so we got 4 of them. Look, we got 4 people in a party. That might mean something. Okay, so for this, the Creeping Darkness is happening, and so that's gonna be another raid wide. While that's happening though, it looks like everybody is tethered to their own mithril verge thing. So I'm stunned for a moment, I can't do anything. And I'm chained to it, it binds me, so I can't move anywhere. So that means everyone is independently responsible to try to get themselves out of this thing. So you have to attack the thing. And if you don't, then you might get hit with this line AoE. Also, this big explosion is the Creeping Darkness raid wide that we saw earlier. Okay, see, we got these blue line AoEs going out, so you gotta attack this thing to free yourself. And the individual ads themselves, the mithril verge things, are doing this verge pulse. Okay, so that's what the blue line AoE is. If this thing is able to do the entire cast, then the blue thing will blow up on you. Okay, so you want to destroy the thing, so you're good, and then there we go. Everyone was able to take care of themselves. Great. Here's another raid wide. Okay, so this one, it looked like the boss turned to a random player and is going to do this large AoE that you need to get out of. Summon. Okay, we got some stuff coming up. Okay, there's 4 of them again. Are they gonna chain us again, or what's this? Okay, so they don't. And so this is one of those things where, yeah, you can just attack them and then they'll go away. Or just let them blow up and then it's like not a big deal. Wait, what's this haste? Oh, that might just been the Lancers, something. Okay, but the main boss is doing the Creeping Darkness again. So the things are, well, see, these 2 haven't been destroyed, and so they're continuously doing line AoEs. And you can also see like the thermosurge is right there and I was technically right here. And so these things, these line AoEs end up targeting the random people. And so, yes, it would be nice to get rid of them. But it kind of looked like, I'm not sure if anyone was attacking this exactly. Oh wait, no, this one is facing that, okay. And the Lancer faces that one. Okay, never mind, they are taking care of it. So cool, yeah, if you want to get rid of these mechanics, you get rid of those extra ads. And then we had those raid whites coming out, so healers ideally taking care of all of that healing. Another tank buster. There's got a mit for that. Mit is short for mitigation. Okay. Okay, AoE underneath someone, get out of that. Summon. Alright, we got some more ads coming out. We have 4 of them. Okay, they're chaining us, so that means personal responsibility. Gotta get yourself out of the situation. Okay, and then help other people if you're able to. Ideally, DPS helps other people. Why did Lancer taking so long? The healer was faster. You would expect the Lancer to be pretty fast. Okay, it targets. You get out of that. It's okay if the Lancer's slower than the healer. The healer's probably just more experienced at this and that. You know, we're just trying to play a game here. Okay, so they're gonna go take care of all those ads while I just stay on the boss. So raid white. I mean, technically as tank, I could also go attack them, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to be running the boss all over the place, you know, because the boss is gonna follow me. So I try to just keep it in the center. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, it looks like because it wasn't destroyed, it gets haste. It increases. Interesting. What does haste do? It reduces the cooldown. And so basically it will go faster. Okay, so if this thing's not destroyed, it will do the beams a lot faster probably. Okay, and then we got raid whites coming out from this thing. Okay, we do have like at least 1 full bar of limit break, but you know, I'm not sure. They're busy. Okay, this is a tank buster. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, so from here the guy's basically over, but I do have like 3 more minutes of footage where I'm like running around looking at stuff, and so if you want to stick around for that, feel free to stick around. Yeah, it's interesting going back to run these older dungeons, just to kind of see some of the changes they made. I think a lot of it is like stuff that would be just annoying stuff that a lot of players like complained about over the years. But then I can also see how they changed some of it to better work with whatever NPC kind of coordination structure they use to like get things to line up better for NPCs to run around and stuff. Oh, NPCs also aren't running around with me. They're at the end. But I went back here just to find this, the Gem of Affluence. This is around where I was dying a lot from those bees, you know? And this is right before the boss that had the doom thingy, where it was where you had to step in the square, the glowing squares. So that's where the Gem of Affluence is if you want to collect all of those stone tablet things. Yeah, I think it's cool they're adding the duty support to all the old stuff, because I know a lot of people, like, even though it's an MMO, I know that a lot of people have like social anxiety and or want to just get through the dungeons at their own pace, which is like, you know, maybe they have kids and they can't be dedicating, you know, X amount of time sequentially. They gotta like get up and do stuff and take care of their kid, or they gotta go do this and that. And then so running with the NPCs kind of makes it like you can still enjoy the game that everyone else is playing, but at your own pace. And so that's kind of nice. Like, I remember reading someone else say, like, yeah, it does take longer to run things with duty support, the NPCs, but I know it's going to be a flat 25 minutes and there's not going to be any drama. Like, if I run some new content with like other players, like, it might cause a lot of issues and stuff. Okay, so I was just showing that this is the gem, this room here. I think this room gave us some shards. So yeah, it's neat. I think they're still working on some of it. I have one more guide coming out that I'm gonna make after this one for Cutter's Cry. And then I will be caught up with all of the NPC stuff that they added for the old dungeons. Yeah, these past two big patches, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, they released a dungeon each of optional around Reborn duty support ones with updates and stuff. And so I'm assuming soon, yeah, you know, the next time there's a big patch, they'll also do the next optional dungeon. I don't remember what it is exactly, but there's at least 2 more, I think, that they plan to do that I saw on the list. And yeah, I wonder if they're gonna start doing duty support for like some of the other things. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. Okay, cool. I hope all of that was useful. Goodbye.